Welcome to Trust Stadium in Henderson. It's the second match of the OFC Champions League doubleheader. Waitakere United, the ASB Premiership champions 4 years in a row, taking on AS Mont Dore. And the context of this game is, of course, cast in a different light following Auckland City's 3-1 defeat to AS Dragon. A victory for Waitakere would take them to 7 points. They would be level with Dragon and just 2 points adrift of Auckland City, who are on 9. AS Mont Dore, well, for them, this is really an exercise in trying to retrieve their reputation. It took a rather big knock on Saturday when Auckland City beat them 12-2 in a bizarre fixture. The referee for this evening's match is Caledonia of Tahiti. The assistant referees Jan Hendrik Hintz and Nick van der Sam of New Zealand. And the fourth official is Nick Waldron, also of New Zealand. Caledonia was one of the match officials at the OFC Nations Cup last year in Honiara in the Solomon Islands and took control of a couple of All Whites games. And we're underway here as AS Mont Dore go in search of some type of restorative exercise after the mauling they suffered at the weekend. Waitakere United are going to be buoyed. They've beaten Dragon in their last outing by 1-0. They'll fancy their chances of adding to the misery for AS Mont Dore's Roy Krishna. Oh, and Waitakere go close opening the scoring early on. Well, there's some confusion as to what's going on. Ryan de Vries is down in a heap. You can see Luc Bessier, the Mont Dore skipper, is somewhat perplexed with what's going on. Now, this was Krishna making it all the way into the penalty area. And, well, nobody was within touching distance of de Vries. It was hard to pick up whether or not there was a foul. Well, it's going to be a red card. Astonishing. Can you believe it? AS Mont Dore, after just 90 seconds of this fixture, are down to 10. And Waitakere have a penalty. Well, Joran Weimer, who saw the ball go past him 12 times on Saturday, is going to get an opportunity to experience a rerun, you fear. Pascal Kennon is the player who's been dismissed. New Caledonian international. Mont Dore can ill afford to do without him. And it's 1-0 to Waitakere inside the third minute. The perfect start for Waitakere United, and well, when your luck is out, as AS Mont Dore's luck is, it all seems to go against you, and it's already going against them here at Trust Arena. Chris Palmer, the goal scorer, after just 3 minutes. Well, this is a worry for AS Mont Dore in a sense, in the sense that Waitakere now can play with the degree of pressure off them here. They've got the lead. They were expected to take it, perhaps not so soon. Matt Kineen. Brian Shelley. Krishna's first touch, not of the usual high standard. Cedric Dequoy battling for possession. He's lost out to Alan Pearce. Oh, interesting through ball and an opportunity for Waitakere perhaps to add to their total already. They've got a corner. Alan Pearce at the near post. Jean-Pierre Bob marking him. It's gone to the far. It's another corner. Well, AS Mont Dore's domestic season hasn't even started yet, and the early signs of off-season and pre-season rust are still there to recognise. Palmer to the near post. It's not a bad ball. Well, a long evening in prospect for Mont Dore with just 10 players. And a free kick conceded. It's Ramon Pine-Benny, Mont Dore's top goal scorer in this competition with 2 strikes. He's also the media manager for the Football Federation of New Caledonia. Palmer winds in the free kick. Unmarked at the far post was Caneen. The flag's gone up. Dequoy helps Weimer's free kick on, but it's back with Waitakere United. And they can build a move again. Brian Shelley. Tim Myers playing it right back this evening. Was pushing on. Lamos Huey. Goes to ground. That's going to be a foul. Jake Butler saying it was shoulder to shoulder. Well, we haven't seen much of Mont Dore on the attack. They scored 2 pretty good goals against Auckland City on Saturday. Less important given the manner of their defeat, but they were still impressive nonetheless. Dequoy's free kick hits the wall. It's back with Lamo Jui. Jean-Pierre Bob with another long-range shot. That's ambitious, although he had a taste of hitting them on Saturday. There's a good shot. Straight into the arms of Danny Robinson from Jakaino Mau. Played off the bench on the weekend, Jakaino Mau. Getting a start here today. Myers. Shelley. Here's Matt Caneen. Now out the other side, back with Myers. Interesting ball intended for Krishna. Doesn't find the mark. Hoisted away by Joseph Chako. Krishna improvises a pass for Chris Palmer. Palmer's picked up a free kick in a pretty handy position. We've already had a look at Chris Palmer's delivery from well, Paul Marshall gets involved anyway, anyhow he can. Real heart in the sleeve character. So Chris Palmer with the free kick. We've had a look at his delivery from a couple of set plays already. It's pretty much GPS'd in Headed away by Pine Benny for a Waitakere throw. De Vries. Butler. Shelley's ball intended for Myers. Myers still in the hunt for this. Well, one difference between Mont Dore from Saturday and the Mont Dore of this evening is just how close the midfield and the defence are playing. They are very compact. As you would expect after suffering the humiliation they suffered at the weekend. Palmer's ball hoisted in for De Vries. Flag stayed down. Weimer's going to get a hold of this. Quite a surreal moment. Well, the red card for Pascal Cannon after just 90 seconds of this game. That has to be close to an OFC Champions League record for a dismissal. And it will be interesting to have a look at that, because from the first sighter that I got of it, it didn't appear as though there was any contact of any kind on Ryan De Vries. Caneen, that's a good ball. Flag's gone up though. Now here is Krishna on the ball, looking to get the ball into the back post. And De Vries is... There's no contact. I can't see any contact. He's crashed into the post. You can see the referee having a look. Pascal Cannon had his back to him, and there's the discussion. Well, that's perplexing to say the least. A red card and a goal to the good Waitakere, but they might feel churlish about they might feel somewhat churlish about the methodology of how they've attained the lead, but you don't feel sorry for anybody in football. An opportunity about to present itself. Chris Palmer chested down intelligently by Dan Varkey. Well, at this stage on Saturday, it was already 3-0 to Auckland, so small successes for Mont Dore. Whether or not they can keep the resistance up is open to question. Dequa, Pine Benny, Charco, going long looking for Jacono Mal. It's always a difficult ask with Mont Dore playing just one up. Trying to keep those two banks of four as close together as they possibly can. AS Mont Dore try and restrict the space that Waitakere United have got to operate in as they seek to open the bottom place team in this group up wide open. I think from a neutral perspective, nobody enjoyed seeing the margin of victory for Auckland on the weekend. It certainly was difficult for Auckland in many ways to keep that momentum up as we see this ball flick through for Roy Krishna. Free kick for Mont Dore. Well, AS Dragon defeated Mont Dore 4-1 in Noumea. And so Waitakere United are going to be looking for a result that imposes on Auckland City and AS Dragons' goal differences. They can't really afford to take this fixture too lightly. They've got to get amongst the goals. They've got to build their own momentum. I'm sure Paul Marshall and his assistant Paul Temple will be emphasising that. That's a lovely piece of interchange between Krishna and De Vries. It's resulted in a corner for Waitakere. Well, De Vries and Krishna so often have this extra sensory perception in their play. Headed away by Paimbeni. Oh, and that was cut out by Jakaino Mao. Back helping out his defence, the front man. Krishna was lining that up for a right foot shot. Prattley for Matthews. Kineen. Palmer. Put back into the mix. It's headed away by Bessier. Kineen again. Now Brian Shelley. Waitakere United with this one player advantage. Kineen. Prattley. Pearce plays it all the way back. Waitakere happy to just keep possession and work Mont Dore around and try and prise open this very defensive unit. They're sitting in a space between the circle on halfway and their 18-yard box. Matthews. Pearce playing in Prattley. Matthews with an opportunity to press forward. It's cut out by Bessier. Well, Mont Dore choosing to sit very, very deep. All players, with the exception of Jakaino Mao, are back behind halfway. Pearce given away. Jakaino Mao trying to latch onto a hopeful long ball, and that looks as though that's going to be the story of his evening. Jake Butler. Clipped in for Prattley. Look Bessier. Free kick goes Mont Dore's way. So Roman Paimbeni has pushed forward for the free kick. It's going to be forlorn anyway because Luc Bessier's dead ball effort was not very good. Weimer caught out by Mize. Here's Ludwig Ziola. Shows good footwork on the ball. Luc Bessier keeps that move going as best he can. And again, the Mont Dore skipper coming up short on quality there. Matthews. Now Jake Butler. Brian Shelley. Matthews' ball was intended for De Vries. It was cut out by Ludwig Ziola. Now Palmer. Well, this could be part of a potential problem for Waitakere as this game goes on. Just the amount of time they are getting on the ball. As we see this one rushed in, and Krishna's header was on target, but Joran Weimer got his positioning right. It was something he struggled with at the weekend. There is a tendency for some teams who have a clear ascendancy to maybe hold on to the ball a little bit too long when an opponent like Mont Dore has opted for, shall we say, a park the bus approach. And the key element here for Waitakere is going to be patience. It's like picking a lock. Now De Vries chooses to hoist the cross in first time. It's headed away by Dan Vaki. Gets a second bite at it. Jakaino Mao wins it off Brian Shelley, but the methodology doesn't meet with the approval of Keita Zatuni. It's a free kick for Waitakere. Matthews looking to build. Now it's Tristan Prattley. And that ball's judged to have gone out, so we'll restart with a Mont Dore throw. Weimer's clearance. Prattley will let that go. Well, Mont Dore have won the New Caledonian domestic title twice in recent times. The last time they were involved in the OFC Champions League against Kiwi opposition was in 2007. They were well beaten home and away by both Super City clubs. But they did manage to restrict Auckland to just a 4-0 win, and that in turn saw Auckland eliminated on goal difference from that edition of this competition. It was a competition that Waitakere went on to win their first continental title. Vaki, that's not a bad ball. Oh, and Mal's taken down. This could be interesting. Zatuni's going for his pocket. It's a yellow card for Matt Kineen. Nice touch from Jakaino Mao, but he got clipped on the way through. You have to ask whether or not Waitakere might have got away with one here, because Kineen was the last defender. He was the last defender. Brian Shelley is the next Waitakere player to appear in the vicinity. So Lemo Jouet will take the free kick. What can he produce from the set play? Oh, it's taken a deflection. It's a corner for Mont Dore. It's off Matt Kineen. Struck with the left foot, and that could have ended up anywhere. Kineen was quite fortunate that that just didn't skid off his thigh into the back of the net. It was already travelling. If it had hit him, it would have picked up pace, and I'm not too sure if Danny Robinson would have been able to cope with it. Bessier, that's a useful header. There's a long-range shot. Oh, and it's, well, look closer on the monitor for sure. Promising moments for AS Mont Dore. They trail Waitakere by 1-0. It was Jakaino Mao. Right attitude. Just lacked accuracy with the finish. Pearce gets the throw going quickly. Roy Krishna with Joe Charco chasing him down. Roman Pine-Benny trying to find a way out for Mont Dore. Ludwig Ziola. Jouet. This is more positive from Mont Dore. Can't make that final ball stick. And Danny Robinson taking control for Waitakere. He's had a pretty good season for Waitakere, Danny Robinson. He passed the 100 match threshold in the ASB Premiership for his career stats. That includes a spell at Waikato FC, in which he made nearly 46 games over the course of 2 or 3 seasons with them. And he was outstanding in the Super City Derby final in the ASB Premiership and also in the OFC Champions League fixture at Fred Taylor Park a couple of weeks ago. Look at that rain. It's been pouring pretty consistently all day. Certainly not weather that Mont Dore will be used to. Confirmation of the score. Waitakere United 1, AS Mont Dore 0, and frustration shown by Alan Pearce at the offside. Jan Hendrik Hintz, the assistant referee, getting that spot on. Bessier. Chikaino Mao battling away gamely on his own up front for Mont Dore. Dan Vaki. Jouet, lovely attempted piece of skill. Mont Dore just growing in belief here. Vaki in unheralded territory for him as a left fullback. Prattley. Now Pearce. Looking to try and break that line of defence that Mont Dore have got with these through balls, but as we saw in today's earlier match, anything intended for a front man that goes beyond the defence is more than likely going to skid away. Prattley's header for Matthews. Pearce, first time into Chris Palmer, read by Luc Bessier. Taken quickly by Myers. Oh, and that's going to be pulled back. Well, Myers thinks he's going to get a second go at this. He's not. Dan Vaki has picked it up. Powerful header by Myers, all the way into Bessier. Vaki, straight to Matthews. De Vries can't keep that in. Ziola. Oh, and that's a short one. Bessier's stepped in. He's done well. Look, Bessier. Well, he's all over the place at the moment, the Mont Dore skipper. Ziola. Given straight to Ryan De Vries. He's got Pearce ahead of him. Oh, and that's surely... Well, the referee has not picked that up, and that for me is a Stonewall free kick. You can't make tackles like that from behind. Well, at least you shouldn't be able to. And for me, that has got to be a free kick. At an absolute minimum, and a card needed to be shown there too. It's always easy, of course, to say these things from up here after 2 or 3 looks at it, but really on first impressions that should have been quite straightforward. Well, Mont Dore making it tough so far for Waitakere, even with 10 players. Pascal Kennon was sent off after just 90 seconds of this game. And so far, Mont Dore, although they trail, they've managed to keep it pretty tight. Jean-Pierre Bob doing the defending. Joseph Charco. Jakaino Mao. First touch lets him down. Well, that's a free kick Waitakere's way. No hard feelings between Matt Canine and Jakaino Mao. He's going to get talked to by Kader Zatuni. And look at that. You can't, as I said earlier, make tackles like that. And far be it from me to hit criticism on the match official, but needs to strive for a bit more consistency. And speak of the devil, another free kick for Waitakere. Another opportunity for Chris Palmer. Well, there's a substitution being made. Ryan De Vries is being taken off. Looks as though he's still carrying from
31st minute substitution for Waitakere United.
That
20, Ryan De Vries, replaced by 30.
knock he took in the opening minute when he collided with a post. And Rory Turner is thrown into the action. So can Turner make an immediate impression? Palmer whips it into the far post. Shelley back to the penalty spot. Pearce has a nibble at it. It's away by Bessier. Palmer showed a little bit too much of that to Lemo Jui. Nearly copped a knock as he went to deliver that ball. Meanwhile, it's back with Butler. Played wide for Canine. And Canine's given that straight to Mont Dore. Jakaino Mao. Look at this, Mao, what can he produce? And the shot's off target. Showed plenty of strength and determination, Jakaino Mao. Brian Shelley did the defending. He got the Mont Dore striker just far enough offline so that the resulting shot went as wide as it did. That's a good ball by Myers. Palmer's latched onto it. Excellent cross and away at the far post, is it? Weimer's missed it. More eccentric goalkeeping from him. He's got a free kick. Came to punch it, I think, and just collided with Alan Pearce, who's inferring there that he's taken a knock. He's slowly back onto his feet. Jean-Pierre Bob for Mont Dore. Well, a little bit more resilience shown tonight by Mont Dore than we saw against Auckland. A little bit more fight and fortitude also being displayed. Krishna Myers. Well, right idea from Tim Myers. No end product, however. Hoisted forward, something for Dan Vaki to perhaps deal with. Roy Krishna's taken a hit to the back of the head. Another free kick for Waitakere. Krishna was in outstanding form during the ASB Premiership. Vaki just going in with the elbow, right elbow into the back of Krishna's head, and an easy decision for the referee to make. So what can Waitakere make of this? One of many opportunities from these free kicks. Vaki's cleared it, only as far as Matthews. Trying to send one back in. Cedric Dequoy picking it up for Mont Dore. We're in the 36th minute. Waitakere United 1, AS Mont Dore 0. Group B of the OFC Champions League, match day 4. Of course, in Group A, there are matches taking place today as well. Bar have beaten the Solomon Warriors by 5-0. And Amicale were leading Hikari United by 1-0 in Port Vila. Bessier with a free kick. And Zeola with a shot, the volley into the side netting. Didn't really trouble Danny Robinson. Certainly Mont Dore looking as though they're capable of inflicting some damage here tonight, potentially in front of goal. But the big question is, can they prevent Waitakere from scoring at the other end? So far, they've limited it to just one. Myers, Krishna. Well, you don't want to get caught dithering on the ball here. Dequoy, Jakaino Mao with, well, that's 40 or 50 metres. Jakaino Mao is trying to negotiate in the wet, and as you can see, it wasn't anywhere near the target. Matthews. Waitakere trying to find gaps and holes and channels to play this ball into. Turner. Jean-Pierre Bob with an extraordinary interpretation of defending. He was all over Alan Pearce. Look at this. Not sure what he was trying to achieve by going in like that. He might have put his team in a world of trouble here. Tristan Prattley's over the ball this time with Chris Palmer. His delivery off the left foot is particularly good. He's not going to take it though. Palmer over the crossbar. Disappointing free kick by Palmer. Former Burton Albion player. Has a really good pedigree in England's League 1 and League 2. Formerly with Gillingham as well. Understandably looked short of a trot against Auckland City. That was his debut for the club. for Waitakere United, but he certainly looks as though he's getting somewhere near to his best in terms of his fitness at least. The rest will come, no doubt. Myers, Shelley, Matthews. That's well played by Alan Pearce. That ball was travelling. It was at an awkward height as well. Matthews joins in the attack again. Palmer switches onto his right foot, bends the cross in. Rory Turner trying to work onto his left foot. Butler's there. Krishna can't get past Due. Due looking for an out ball. Shelley cuts that off. Waitakere can restart. We're inside the final 5 minutes of the first 45. Palmer checking through to Pearce. Away by Bessiere. Pine Benny. Joy with an ambitious pass. He had Jakino Mao, who was a lot closer to his left. He's being told that now by his coach, Harawa Aramwa. Well, you have to say, given the horror start that Mont Dore had to tonight's game, they would perhaps be satisfied with trailing by only a goal to nil, particularly with 10 players. They've shown an increased appetite for the challenge set before them, despite the adversity of only having 10 players. They've suffered under a poor decision from what we can tell, from what we've seen. And Waitakere just trying to be patient and work the ball around and probe for these gaps, because goodness knows they've got the firepower to exploit it. And that man there, Roy Krishna. Myers looking to bring Turner into play. Now Krishna. Butler. Pearce is at the far post. He's unmarked. Vaki, Turner. Turner goes to ground. Referees let play go on. Trying to see how that phase of play develops. It's a smart piece of refereeing by Keita Zatuni. You like to see referees have some understanding of how... Oh, and a chance! And Waitakere have missed it. It looked easier to score. Well, he proves he's human after all, Roy Krishna. Look at that. It just took a bobble on its way through, and that perhaps is what did for Krishna in the end. Krishna, of course, finished as the Golden Boot winner in the ASB Premiership this season. He managed to get 19 goals in just 17 matches. He's found it a lot harder in the OFC Champions League. Just one goal so far. That came against Auckland City. Here's Palmer, dropping deep to collect the ball this time. Prattley gives it to Pearce. Jake Butler keeping the switch going. Mont Dore have shuffled across in numbers and filled those holes up. And as you can see, Shelley didn't have any targets to hit. It's gone all the way through to the keeper. Sam Matthews. He's had a bit of a stop-start career, Sam Matthews, at the highest level. As we have a look at this effort, audacious effort, and more hopeful than realistic from Cedric Dequois. Matthews has turned out for Auckland City as a squad player. He is a favourite of Paul Marshall's at Winter Club level, or has been in the past at least, with Three Kings United. Extremely hard-working player, and there's a long-range shot to test the keeper by Tristan Prattley. Worth a go. Almost everything that was thrown at Joran Weimer ended up in the back of the net, so why not have a strike from distance tonight, especially on a wet surface. You just never know what your efforts might yield. Matthews intended ball for Krishna's cutout by Joseph Charko. Jouet checking his options. Vaki up on his left, giving support. Well, we're into time added on. There shouldn't be too much of that. And after 45 of the regulation minutes. Oh, and that was so close for Mont Dore. Still going. It's Jouet. Away by Butler. And that is half-time in the second of our OFC Champions League matches from Truss Arena in Henderson, New Zealand. It's been a fascinating first 45 minutes. Waitakere got off to the best of starts when they went 1-0 up after just 2 minutes. It was Chris Palmer who scored from the penalty spot. Pascal Kennon was shown a red card for Mont Dore. We assume for a foul on Ryan de Vries. First minute. And it was this moment. Krishna went to the far post. De Vries missed the chance and then collided with the post. Keep your eye on Pascal Kennon. He's nowhere near De Vries. And then next moment. Oh, yes, well, looking at it closer, it appears as though Pascal Kennon may have kept that ball out of the back of the net with his hand. Now, normal speed, it's almost impossible to tell, but when you watch it again, no, Pascal Kennon, it hit him in the forearm. That's how I saw that. It happened so fast, and the penalty in the back of the net, no mistake from Palmer. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way, and Waitakere 1-0 up. And look at this, Giacomo Mao lifts the ball over the top of Canine and goes to ground. Now look, Canine gets a yellow card, it might have been a red one. The resulting free kick then came off Canine, was perhaps fortunate, went over the crossbar. Always difficult in those wet conditions to make sure that the ball doesn't end up in the back of your own net. This one was wound in by Palmer, brave header from Alan Pearce. Mont Dore clear their lines. In 3 minutes before the whistle, Roy Krishna, of all players on this pitch, you would least expect Roy Krishna to miss a chance like that. The ball just skidding off that surface, catching out Krishna. And then AS Mont Dore. That's a great ball. The touch from Mao just not solid enough. He played Jouet in. His first touch was not quite good enough, but Jake Butler got his angles all right there in terms of defending that ball. So 1-0 at half-time. Waitakere leading Mont Dore by a goal to nil. Chris Palmer, the goal scorer. We'll see you back here at Trust Arena for the second half. Welcome back to Trust Arena in Henderson for the second half of the OFC Champions League game between Waitakere United and AS Mont Dore. Waitakere United lead by a goal to nil. Chris Palmer's penalty after just 2 minutes separates the two sides. And this was the moment of controversy. The first sighter of it showed that there was no contact. We were perhaps looking for a contact. Pascal Kennon on Ryan de Vries. It was, in fact, Pascal Kennon swatting the ball off the line with his right hand. You can see it there more clearly. Kader Zatuni gets this 100% correct. He confers with Jan Hendrik Hintz and then produces the correct decision, which is a straight red card, preventing a goal-scoring opportunity, and Chris Palmer dispatching the penalty. So, Kader Zatuni, I certainly owe you one because I was completely baffled. You got it right. And I got it wrong. Second half underway. Waitakere leading by a goal to nil. They'll be looking to add to the tally in the second half. Goal difference could come into play. This group is so tight. Following Dragons' upset 3-1 win over Auckland City here earlier this afternoon. That's given straight to Cedric Dequoy. He's got no targets apart from Giacomo Mao. Holds play up. He's looking for support. Jean-Pierre Bob is the most immediate support he does have, and he goes to ground. He's got a free kick. Well, Kaneen has to watch himself. He's already been booked. Well, look, he's grabbed an armful of Giacomo there. Could turn into an intriguing evening if the teams were evenly matched in terms of numbers. Waitakere can ill afford that. So Lemo Jouet takes a free kick, goes to the near post. It's away by Alan Pearce. Back doing some defending. Ludwig Ziola. Joseph Chaco. Pearce intercepts again. It's brought down by Dequoy, but Waitakere have it. Prattley. Oh, that's a good ball for Turner. Chests it down, and Krishna's completely miscued. Dequoy on the counter-attack. Interesting ball. Brian Shelley's done well, the Irishman. He's an accomplished defender, Brian Shelley. I'm a big admirer of him as we have a look at that neat little chest down from Roy Turner. The execution of the shot from Krishna was lacking in quality. Prattley. Again, Mont Dore's defence holds firm as the rain continues to fall at Trust Arena. Jouet popping up on the right-hand side. Can't hold on to the ball. Palmer with a good ball for Krishna. Oh, it's too short from Jaco, and Krishna has made it too. At long last, Roy Krishna has found the back of the net. It's his second goal of the OFC Champions League campaign. Waitakere's second goal tonight. And just 3.5 minutes into the start of the second half, Chris Palmer's cross was just a little bit too short for Joe Jaco with his back pass, and Krishna's poked that away for Waitakere's second. Just the start to the second half, Coach Paul Marshall will be looking for. Jake Butler. Turner back for Matthews. Turner again for Krishna. Oh, and Turner's popped up with it. Goalkeeper's out. Blocks the shot. It's a corner. Oh, it's a goal kick. Do apologise. Rory Turner, who played his ASB Premiership season with Waikato FC. Oh, that's a good ball by Butler, and Pearce can add to the tally. Oh, he's hit the side netting. Well, looks as though Joran Weimer got his angles right there. Dequa. Bob. Pearce. Roman Pine Benny working ever so hard on defence for Mont Dore. These counter-attacks for Mont Dore have really looked like causing Waitakere too many problems. No clear-cut issues, at least. And there are just 6 minutes of the second half gone, and it's a deluge out there at the moment. This rain is not letting up. Difficult conditions for both teams. Pearce takes the throw quickly. Waitakere keen to get things moving. Myers. Matthews. It's so congested in that Mont Dore half. They've just got two banks of four sometimes. Even Jakino Mao is coming back to help his midfield. And it's just making it difficult for Waitakere to create any clear-cut goal-scoring chances. Butler sprays the ball wide to Pearce on the right. Takes on Dan Vaki, has a shot with the left foot. Oh, and it's going to fall to Rory Turner and Krishna. Oh! An unbelievable miss by the skipper. Jake Butler won't want to see this again. Pearce with a left foot shot. Joran Weimer couldn't hold on to it. Turner and Krishna both arrive at the same time, and then this moment for Jake Butler is one he'd rather forget. was on a plate for him. Jake Butler, he scored some pretty terrific goals this season for Waitakere in the ASB Premiership, and he scored that vital winner against AS Dragon in Tahiti. And you can't obviously score them all. Pearce. Oh, taken out late. Perhaps there's protest of innocence from Raman Pine-Benny. Krishna, the goalkeeper's come for it, and it's still alive, but Mont Dore somehow survive. They can counter-attack, but they're just not linking things up. It's been an ongoing feature of their game plan tonight to try and hit Waitakere on the break, but when they do so, there doesn't seem to be too much of a plan. That's a good ball by Palmer. Krishna will size this up just perfectly. 3-0, 55 minutes, and Krishna gets a double. It was a good ball by Palmer. Bessier missed the first tackle. Charco didn't close him down, and Waimar was out of position, and Krishna could hardly miss from there. Great finish by the Fijian international. Substitution for Waitakere. Alan Pearce is off, and Dylan Stansfield is on. Well, you just wonder if Mont Dore are going to tire, because there are gaps now in this red defence that weren't there in the first half. Starting to open up. And that's only going to be exacerbated if Waitakere can keep moving this ball as quickly as possible through these channels. That's a good ball by Matthews for Palmer, who plays Tristan Prattley in. Takes on Jean-Pierre Bob. Cross too close to the goalkeeper. Prattley. Still going. Can't get past Jean-Pierre Bob. Ziola. And a free kick is given to Mont Dore. Bessier into the penalty area. That should be regulation header for Brian Shelley. Matthews was looking for Rory Turner with that pass, I think, Sam Matthews. Jouy. No way past Butler this time. Stansfield hits Turner. Now Krishna. Ball speed improving here for Waitakere. Turner cuts back inside, spots Jake Butler. Got two options far on the right if Waitakere want to switch it. Turner picks it up. Confirmation of the score, Waitakere United 3, AS Mont Dore 0. Chris Palmer with a penalty, and 2 goals for Roy Krishna. Takes his tally to 3 for this season's edition of the Champions League. to add to the 19 he scored in the ASB Premiership. Prattley, Palmer. Lovely ball by Chris Palmer for Stansfield. Can take on his fullback here and perhaps get in across Stansfield. Good defending by Dan Vaki. It's a corner for Waitakere. Prattley will take it, so it'll be an in-swinging corner with the left foot, you would assume. Stansfield goes to the near post. Butler, Shelley at the far. Caneen's coming to join that duo. Myers is coming in late as well. Staggered their runs and then reset. It comes in and the goalkeeper spills it but gets it at the second attempt. Long ball from Paimbeni. Dealt with easily by Myers. Ziola plays it wide to Jouet. Well, it looks as though the result is in the bag for Waitakere tonight, so that will mean that they finish match day 4 with 7 points, the same number of points as AS Dragon. Barring any miracle comebacks by Mont Dore, of course, that is looking pretty slim. Paimbeni. Jouet. Dan Vaki. Cedric Decroix. Still Decroix. There's a shot that tests Danny Robinson. He had it under control though. Brian Shelley going on a marauding run of his own. Shelley still going. Prattley sizing up across. Goes to the far post. It's a useful looking one taken by the goalkeeper at the first time of asking. He's got to give Joran Weimer a bit of confidence. He hasn't always performed so capably at these crosses. Ziola, straightforward ball for Dan Robinson to deal with. Butler, that's a good ball by Krishna for Stansfield. Palmer providing the support. Whips in the cross, Weimar with a regulation piece of goalkeeping to execute. That kick's ended up with Roman Paimbeni. Now Yamo Jouet through the legs of Stansfield, and that's a foul. And a talking to for the substitute. Look, he just got to square on to Jouet, who it was too easy to go through the legs of Stansfield there, and once Stansfield knew he'd been beaten, he obstructed the Mont Dore player. Rory Turner. That's a smart ball by Turner. It's brought the goalkeeper off his line. Matthews might fancy a long-range shot. No, conservative. He's gone wide to Stansfield. Dan Vaki's performed well there, winning the ball back for Mont Dore. They've turned possession over again already, though. Butler stabbed through the legs of Decroix, but Jean-Pierre Bob has picked it up. The game just a bit scrappy at the moment. The result has perhaps not been in doubt for some time, and that's leading to one or two stray passes and Just a lack of sharpness in a general sense around the pitch. Although it must be said, this has been a thoroughly professional performance by Waitakere United. It would be so easy to assume that just because of Mont Dore's defeat on Saturday that Waitakere just find this straightforward and easy and hit double figures themselves. It's certainly not the case. Mont Dore have turned in a significantly better performance than the one that they delivered at the weekend. And as such, Waitakere have had to deal with that change. And so far, so good for them. Mont Dore have a free kick just outside the Waitakere penalty area. It's going to be a 4 or 5 man wall for Waitakere. Stansfield, Palmer, Turner, Matthews, they have taken up positions in that wall. Romain Pine-Benny is in an advanced position for Mont Dore as the shot comes in. Oh, and it's just wide. Danny Robinson thought enough of it to make sure that he got across. Not far away at all. Danny Robinson wasn't entirely sure that that was going to miss the target, so he made sure he got across to protect the Waitakere goal. Bob for Pine-Benny. Oh, he's lost the ball here, Pine-Benny. Palmer's robbed him of it. Krishna tries to latch on to Rory Turner. Prattley still going. Turner, and he stabs it wide. It's taken a deflection of Pine-Benny for a corner. Well, play restarted and Mont Dore have defended the situation. Shelley. Now Matthews finds Krishna with space to run into. And play still continuing. Oh, and that looks painful. Substitution for Waitakere, Krishna. Pine-Benny executes the tackle well, but once again, you always have to be careful. Wow, right into Dylan Stansfield's breadbasket. Well, he still hasn't recovered, Dylan Stansfield. Billy Colton is the new player to replace Roy Krishna. Colton with a background in United States collegiate football and UK football as well. Here's Dequois taking on Prattley. Matthews coming in to provide extra assistance, and Dequois wins a corner. Well, the morale of this Mont Dore side has looked completely different to their last match here. They're still some way off the scoreline, but they've turned in a more credible performance tonight. So Pine-Benny has taken up a position just in front of Danny Robinson, and most of the attacking force for Mont Dore is, as you would expect, at the far post. Bessier goes to the near. Header is by Brian Shelley. Dequois picked it up in midfield. Looking to try and thread a pass through for a run, perhaps through Jacono Mao. He's still going. Dylan Stansfield tidies up for Waitakere. Chikono Mao. Free kick for Mont Dore. They're getting closer. Mao picked the ball up, tried to turn Shelley here. Keeps hold of the ball. Just lost his footing. I don't know if there was too much real contact there from Brian Shelley. It's academic anyway. It will be a free kick. Now, Jouet's first free kick sped past the wall and hit Matt Caneen before going over for a corner. This one is close. Well, it's closer. There's the shot. Good save by Danny Robinson. And that is a wonderful piece of goalkeeping. Danny Robinson to the rescue from Waitakere. Look at this. Hit powerfully, on target. It was one-handed as well. It looked Robinson's left hand, and then he got a bit of luck for the follow-through. Well, when your luck's going your way, it's going your way. Robinson picked that ball up. Fortunately for him, he seemed to have come out of his box pretty quickly, and the situation in front of him had changed, but the ball ended up in his hands in any case. Ziola for Pine-Benny. Now Jouet. Still got the ball, Jouet. Dequois is hauled back by Matthews, is he? What's been given here? Somebody's been booked. Looks like Lemo Joui's the player who's been cautioned. And so it is. Lemo Joui. Rory Turner. Sam Matthews. Myers. Can Waitakere unlock Mont Dore for a fourth time? Ball to the near post. The goalkeeper's got it. There's the clearance. Dequois loses out to Myers, but Mont Dore have it back, courtesy of a throw for Jean-Pierre Bob, just inside Mont Dore territory. Dequois. Nice work on the ball there, Dequois, but Roy Turner steps in to retrieve the ball for Waitakere and then turns it over promptly. Jouet. Game just a bit scrappy again. Bessier's caught late by Stansfield. Play on, says Kato Zatuni. Palmer. Well read by Joe Charco. Palmer picks out Prattley. Myers joins in the attack. Plays Matthews. Palmer. First touch looked a bit heavy from Stansfield, but it's broken for Waitakere nevertheless. Mont Dore have scrambled this clear. It's a corner. Prattley jogging across to take it. We're inside the final 17 minutes of this match. Waitakere United 3, AS Mont Dore 0. Wound into the far post. That's going to be difficult for Butler to get a hold of, and there's a foul on the goalkeeper in any case. Well, so difficult for the new Caledonian champions, the way that their season is structured. These matches, which are amongst the hardest in club football in this region. As we see Prattley in a corner for Waitakere. These matches are more or less arriving in the pre-season for Mont Dore. As we see Palmer find Prattley with that ball, he just can't hold on to it, Tristan Prattley. Jean-Pierre Bob. We haven't seen as much of him tonight as an attacking force. He scored a wonderful goal against Auckland. He's spent most of his evening at right back, and a chance for Waimo. Oh! Mont Dore have a goal. And it's Chikaino Mao who scores it.
75 minutes of play. 4 on the board. Through number 9, Jacquino Mao.
Pine Benny with the outside of the right foot just between the two Waitakere defenders. First touch was a good one from Mao. The second was even better. And the 10 men have struck. And you might say that that's a deserved reward for Chikaino Mao. He's been working ever so hard on his own up front for 10 men for almost the entire match, and he gets a reward. And Waitakere start again. Stansfield, can he get a cross in? Works back onto his left foot, needs some help. And earns a free kick, an overzealous challenge. All the usual suspects traipsing forward to the far post for this Palmer free kick. It's a good one. It's cleared by Bessiere. Matthews back out to Palmer. Can he get another one of those crosses? And that's well played by Chris Palmer. When he gets going, when he gets his delivery going, he's a good player to watch. Dequois. Now Mao up against Brian Shelley. Oh, good save by Danny Robinson again. Well, Waitakere being given a bit of a shake-up at the moment by Mont Dore. Chikaino Mao just cut back onto that favoured right foot of his, and Danny Robinson just plucked it out of the air with that left hand of his. It's come to the rescue twice now. I just wonder if Mont Dore might provide some stern opposition for Waitakere in Noumea. They'll take a lot out of this game. Jean-Pierre Bob. Mont Dore starting to get forward in numbers, something they haven't done for most of the game. Pine Benny. Bob misses out. Now can Waitakere hit Mont Dore on the counter-attack? Stansfield up against Bessiere. Charco's gone over to provide some cover. Ludwig Ziola's back there defending. And Stansfield sends Bob to the ground, and it's going to be a free kick for Mont Dore. Well, a second goal for the New Caledonian champions would certainly set up a grandstand finish, an unexpected one, to say the least. Bessier. Benny, tidy on the ball. He's got a free kick. Takes it quickly. Tekwa can't keep a hold of it. Well, this game's starting to fragment. Palmer. Butler. Here's Prattley. Not much in the way of movement ahead of this Waitakere United back four at the moment. Just content to bounce balls into midfield and get them back. Now Matthews' concern. What can he see in front of him? Colton. Helped on. Oh, and Prattley unmarked at the far post. There's some desperate defending going on there by Mont Dore. Jean-Pierre Bob has won a throw-in.
Substitution for Mont Dore in the 81st
Ludwig Ziola being withdrawn by the Mont Dore coach. It's been a hard couple of games for Ludwig Ziola. Alphonse Toka is the new man. Palmer, now Stansfield. He can pick out his cross here. Billy Colton on the edge of the box with a shot off the line. Has another go at it. Not as good as the first. And the goal kick. Some desperate defending from Mont Dore. Good first touch. Nice second touch. And the goalkeeper was beaten all ends up. It was just the defender on the line that prevented Waitakere getting a fourth goal through Billy Colton. Dan Varkey is going to play this back to his goalkeeper. Sometimes you've got to do that, play the way you face, just to be 100% sure. Header forward. There's a touch for the new man, Alphonse Toka. Benny. Well, you just wonder if Mont Dore have got another goal in them. Here's David Wadra. Still going, Wadra. Toka. Now Dan Varkey. Good spell this for Mont Dore. Colton rolls it back and earns a free kick. A late tackle by Dan Varkey. Turner. Matthews. Prattley has moved forward to the left of Myers. Stansfield working hard to receive the ball. Palmer shows to feet. Butler in space. Now Matthews. Alphonse Toka gets a foot in. Mont Dore have the ball with David Wadra. Raman Benny. He's got Wadra to his right, and Jakaino Mao is onside. And he's got a corner. So awkward times for Waitakere. It's been far from a straightforward assignment for the ASB Premiership champions tonight. And if they were to concede here, you would expect that we'd be in for a frenetic final 6 or 7 minutes. Look, Bessier and Dan Varkey have got to be the targets here for Mont Dore. The ball wound into the near post. Prattley taken out by Dan Varkey. Looks as though he's taken a really heavy knock there. Shelley. Butler surveys his options and picks out Sam Matthews. Matthews picks out Turner. Look, Bessier tidying up for Mont Dore. We're in the 85th minute. Waitakere United 3, AS Mont Dore 1. 2 goals for Roy Krishna, 1 for Chris Palmer, and Jakaino Mao for AS Mont Dore. Round off the scorers. Stansfield, good turn by him. Palmer with the shot and just wide. Might have taken a deflection on the way through, may have been the goalkeeper's glove. Look at this. Excellent hit by Chris Palmer and a decent save by Joran Weimer. Corner headed clear by Bessier. Free kick to Mont Dore. Frustration for Rory Turner. Matthews touch. Stansfield connects play up. Now Colton. Hefty challenge. Tied up by Joe Charko. David Wadra with the throw. No, it's going to be Dan Varkey. Well, the additional time looks as though it's going to be 3 minutes minimum. Plenty of time for Waitakere to add to their tally. What a difference a couple of games makes. A morale-boosting win in Tahiti over AS Dragon. And they're going to run out winners here again against French-speaking opposition. 6 points added to the draw they picked up with Dragon in the first game for a total of 7. And Waitakere's goal of lifting their first Oceania club title since 2008 remains on track. But look at the positive side for Mont Dore. It's been a completely different team that's surfaced here today at Truss Arena. They've worked harder. Their morale looks as though it's improved out of sight, and they've got a really decent goal to take home with them, courtesy of Jakaino Mao. Here's Jean-Pierre Bob. Perhaps they've got a second. We shall see. Dequar with a shot straight into the arms of Robinson. That's regulation stuff for him. Matthews, Stansfield, Myers, Butler. Has a quick look around. Both Turner and Stansfield were heavily marked. There was no options going forward for the Waitakere skipper. Stansfield runs into a gap here, picked out by Prattley. Bessiere earns a throw-in for Mont Dore, takes it quickly. Dequar, first time ball looking for Mao. He's one-on-one against Shelley. Has a shot and it stings the hands of Robinson. Good effort by Jacono Mao. Certainly with 10 players, Mont Dore have performed bravely, if nothing else. Alphonse Tokotoko. Pine Benny looking for a run from the tireless Jacono Mao. Look at that shot. From such a difficult angle, it's always a big ask to beat a goalkeeper from that sort of distance, but he got enough power on it, and Robinson could only parry it.
There will be a minimum of 3 minutes of additional time at the end of the second half.
So confirmation that there will be 3 additional minutes is confirmed by the fourth official, Nick Waldron. David Wadra connecting play up. Now Jean-Pierre Bob. Well, he's lost the ball in his feet there. Chris Palmer can set Dylan Stansfield away. Bessiere's across to deal with it. Mont Dore skipper. Well, he's out of position now. Matthews has played that first time for Chris Palmer, who's not able to get a hold of it. Cedric Dequar. Jean-Pierre Bob. Roman Pine Benny brings Dan Vaki into the equation. Now David Wadra checks onto the right foot, and it needed more mustard on it than that to beat Danny Robinson. The 10 men of Mont Dore battle bravely on. Certainly emerged from this game with a lot more credibility than their last efforts at Kiwatia Street. Prattley. That's a good cross by Tristan Prattley. Oh! Unlucky for Rory Turner with a first-time volley. It was a delicious cross from Tristan Prattley, and Rory Turner just opened the face of the boot, but it was straight at the goalkeeper. Look at the quality of the cross. It took Joe Charco completely out of the equation, and the shot from Turner, he went for placement over power. Unfortunately, that it was placed right at Joran Weimer's front door. He was able to deal with that easily in the end. Wadra. Bessiere. Cut out by Turner. He's set off on a run. Stansfield was looking for Palmer, but the pass was given straight to Bessiere. We're into time added on. Dequar, is there another goal left in this game? Cedric Dequar tries to battle through 4 Waitakere players, loses out. Well, referee Keita Zatuni has brought the game to an end. It's fallen the way of the New Zealand champions. They've won the match by 3 goals to 1. goals for Chris Palmer, 2 for Roy Krishna, and 10 men of AS Mont Dore, led by Luc Bessier, have taken something away from the match. As we look back at the highlights of what was an intriguing fixture, just 1 minute in, a red card for Pascal Kennon. It came from this run from Roy Krishna. Ryan De Vries looked as though he had met that ball at the far post, and that handball there by Pascal Kennon prevented a goal-scoring situation. Kader Zatuni consulted with his assistant referee, Jan Hendrik Hintz, who picked that up, and it was a straightforward call in the end for the referee. It's a good piece of officiating and deserves a doff of the cap, because it happened so fast it was difficult to tell exactly what had happened. And the penalty by Chris Palmer, perfect. His first goal in Waitakere colours in his third match for the club. 22 minutes. Gioacchino Mao is brought down by Matt Kineen, only a yellow card. Kineen was the last player. Then from the resulting free kick, that could have ended up anywhere. It took 2 deflections by the look of it. Might have come off Tim Myers. 33 minutes. Palmer with a free kick. Brave header from Alan Pearce, and Mont Dore clear their lines through Dan Vaki. 3 minutes before the break. This should have been a goal by Roy Krishna's standards. Just opened up the foot. The ball took a bounce off this wet, skiddy surface, and the Fijian hitman this time couldn't hit the target. Mont Dore had an opportunity of their own. It came with Gioacchino Mao setting up Jouet. First touch took him into the path of Jake Butler. Waitakere quelled the danger and cleared their lines. Waitakere managed to get their second goal eventually, and it came from Roy Krishna. He latched onto a Joseph Charco back pass. It was too short. Krishna doesn't miss from there. He tucked it under the goalkeeper, and Waitakere with 2 goals to the good. His second goal in the competition, but there was more to come. 53 minutes, opportunity spurned. Pearce with the left foot shot. The goalkeeper can't hold on to it. Krishna and Turner converge. Jake Butler from right out in front. Waima did really well here, but with his goal wide open for Jake Butler, this time the Waitak skipper can't capitalise. 55 minutes. Lovely piece of play by Roy Krishna. Set up by Chris Palmer. His temperament was cool, calm and collected, as was the finish, and that had Waitakere 3 goals up. Both centre halves taken out of the picture. The goalkeeper left helpless. Krishna with his 22nd goal of the season in all competitions. 25 minutes to go. Free kick taken by Cedric Dequois, and it was just wide of Danny Robinson's right hand upright. And Robinson was called into action with a left hand. That's a wonderful save. You can't have seen that until very late, Danny Robinson. And then he got a bit of deserved luck there. The second piece of play by Dan Vaki, the header, ends up straight in his arms. There was more to come from Danny Robinson as well. Lovely ball from Romain Pine-Benny. Gioacchino Mao, second touch was absolutely superb. The pass that set the goal up was top class as well. Robinson couldn't do anything about this finish. And that brought the 10 men back into some hope of retrieving the situation. Just under a quarter of an hour left. Mao had another attempt. Again, Danny Robinson coming to the rescue of Waitakere with a top quality save. And then into time added on, Rory Turner with this right foot volley from absolutely peach of a Tristan Prattley cross. And Joran Weimer completed the save. Let's take a look at the results from match day 4 in the OFC Champions League. Amakel have beaten Hikari 2-0. Bar have beaten Solomon Warriors 5-0. Dragon downed Auckland 3-1, as did Waitakere over Mont Dore. Bar and Amakel have more or less qualified. They have qualified for the semi-finals. Bar and Amakel both with 10 points. Hikari and Solomon Warriors can't catch them. While in Group B, Auckland with 9 points from 4 games. Dragon and Waitakere on 7 points each. Mont Dore, bottom of the group and eliminated. They can't make the semi-finals. Well, it's been a joy to describe the action for you from Trust Arena Stadium in Henderson. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hope to see you again here next time with OFC TV and the OFC Champions League 2013.